All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we've got an update on the Terence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight as a replacement has been put in place for Terence Crawford. A replacement named Lester Martinez. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 168-pound division, where Canelo Alvarez is supposed to be fighting Terence Crawford. However, things are starting to look real shady out there, as they have already announced a replacement for Terence Crawford for that fight. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, guys, thank you so much for what you do for the channel. It really makes a huge, huge difference to the channel. But let's get into this, because I'm telling you right now, there's more ridiculousness going on with this Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight than I could have ever had anticipated. And as a result of this, I think they are already getting ready for this fight not to happen. As Matt from Brunch Boxing let the world know that Turki Lashiek has already named a replacement for Terence Crawford, just in case they can't get the fight done or something happens to Terence Crawford. Note that there's no mention of what is going to happen if Canelo Alvarez pulls out of the fight, right? Is Lester Martinez a replacement for both Canelo and Terence Crawford? Probably not. However, I'm paying attention to what's going on in this situation, and I'm telling you, man, that fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is anything but done. First of all, they're supposed to have a press conference in June. So within the next few weeks, we should know when the fight is going to be and where it's going to be. However, as of right now, Canelo Alvarez had given an interview, and Canelo Alvarez said that it was going to be on September 13th and that fight was going to be in Vegas. Well, if it's going to be in Vegas, it's not going to be the Allegiant Stadium like Turki Lashiek had wanted it to be, because, as you know, there's already a football game. UNLV, University of Nevada in Las Vegas, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, has a football game against, I do believe, Iowa on September 13th in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. So it's going to be a very, very nice trick to see how you're going to put on a boxing match while you have a football game going on. I don't think you're going to be able to pull that off. So Turki Lashiek, as of right now, let's be very, very clear, does not have a date, does not have a venue. The only thing we know is that the promoter is going to be Sella, and the promoter is not going to be Dana White with TKO. Let me tell you what this is more than likely going to be. Well, I'll put it in a percentage. Let's say I'm about 60% that this is going to be a bait and switch. 60% on a bait and switch. You're going to wind up getting a Terence Crawford versus somebody else and a Canelo Alvarez versus somebody else before you actually get that fight. I think that they're playing with people with that fight. I think there's a 60% chance, more likely than not, that that fight does not go off. And there's going to be a couple reasons for that. Turki Lashiek is not going to be able to pay $300 million. Let's just be honest. $300 million in guaranteed purses between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. $200 million for Canelo and $100 million for Terence Crawford. If I am Turki Lashiek, I'm sitting back, and in the back of my mind, I'm trying to think, how in the world can I get out of this? Because there's no way that fight has the traction necessary to come anywhere near generating enough money to afford to pay those fighters. And at a certain point in time, Turki Lashiek is going to learn. And I believe this. At a certain point in time, he's going to learn that, hey, like Biggie said, who said that? More money, more problems. The more money you're throwing out there, the more problems you're going to cause yourself. Like the fact that people see you as a sucker, Turki, and they're going to play you, see a sucker, and they're going to play a sucker. And that what happened the last fight that you got, since you are paying all this big money, what did Bob Arum say? And pretty much everybody else say, man, these guys are tanking it just so they can get to Turki Lashiek and get another payday. For them, only thing they care about doing is winning. And why would they feel that way? Well, you see where Deontay Wilder is. Deontay Wilder is going to be fighting in Wichita, Kansas. I do believe he fights in Wichita, Kansas in July. And what did he get when he went to work with Turki Lashiek? He got treated like garbage. He got thrown in ridiculously hard matchups that he was not prepared for at that stage of his career, or based off the level of activity that he had, or the fact that he was coming off of some very savage losses to Tyson Fury. But what do? Just ball Deontay Wilder up, throw him right out there to a very active Joseph Parker, and then back it up with a very active and a streaking Zhilei Zhang. Meanwhile, what does he do for the people that he likes? Gives them nice little soft, cushy fights like like how he gave Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou, gave Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou. Look, man, this stuff is not going to be lasting forever. I'm telling you. And I really think that they're going to pull the plug on this fight closer to the closer they get to it, the more Turki Lashiek is going to realize that this thing is going to be a disaster. There's already been a bunch of miscommunications about this fight, and the fight hasn't even been announced yet. All kind of different miscommunications straight from Turki Lashiek. And sometimes people are thinking, hey, man, are you trying to do this on purpose with the misinformation that he gave? Similar to how he said Canelo was going to be fighting Jake Paul and then he made Ring Magazine put that out there really just to put pressure on Canelo Alvarez to sign the Terence Crawford fight or whatever crazy mechanisms these guys got going on. I don't think this stuff is going to, I have a big suspicion that this fight is not going to happen. And if it does happen, because of what took place in the Fatal Fury card with Devin Haney, Ryan, and Teofimo Lopez and William Skull versus Canelo, you have to wonder whether or not, even if they get into the ring, whether or not these guys are going to really be willing to fight and lay it on the line for something. I don't think they are. I think that they feel like they're going to get so much money that it's not even worth taking a chance putting too much into the fight, because he may not get to his next payday. But interesting stuff. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Once again, a replacement has already been named for Terence Crawford, a guy named Lester Martinez. Do not be surprised if we see Canelo Alvarez versus Lester Martinez in rehab on September 13th. Don't be surprised. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.